All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live today on this Thursday right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. And just in case you don't know, this is the day, the Thursday that the Lord has made. And we are already rejoicing and we are glad in it. Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen, to the Ramonepreston Show. I appreciate all of you joining me for the show today, and I need you to do a few favors for me. I need you to, number one, hit the like button, hit the share button. Maybe you can tag somebody and let them know that we're live today. And please, if you would be so kind, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube page. Subscribe to my YouTube page. Subscribe to my YouTube page. We have a little over 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, and our goal is to get to 10,000 subscribers. There's no way we're going to get to 10,000 subscribers if you don't subscribe to our YouTube page and share with others that we have over 1,600 videos on YouTube alone, not to include the hundreds upon hundreds of videos that we have on our university training platform. But we love to give back value. We love to bless people with information. We love to educate. We love to train. We love to empower and inspire our community. And that's why we do what we do. So welcome to the Ramonepreston Show. If you don't know, now you know. I'm your host, Ramonepreston. Every Monday through Friday, right here, 12 o'clock noon Eastern Standard Time, I show up on this show because I am passionate about sharing information with you to help you start, to help you structure, and maybe you have things already started in structure. I want to help you scale your business, your ministry, if you have a ministry, or maybe you don't have a business or a ministry, your income streams. So if you have a business, a ministry, or income streams that you want started correctly, structured correctly, and scaled correctly, the information that I share with you on this show will help you make that happen. Now, how do I know, without a shadow of a doubt, that this information can help you start, structure, and scale your businesses, ministries, and income streams? Here's how I know, because this is what I do every day. We provide here at Ramonepreston Enterprises business, ministry, and even financial consulting, coaching, and training. And we do that through a few different ways. We do it through our online training program called the Millionaire Blueprint. It is a very comprehensive virtual training program to teach you on how to start and structure your holding companies, your operating entities. It teaches you financial literacy, real estate investing, goal setting, how to start and structure a ministry, sales, marketing. It's a very comprehensive business and financial wealth building program that we put together called the Millionaire Blueprint. And we also provide coaching and consulting. We have a coaching program called the Millionaire Blueprint. Millionaire Mentorship program, rather. It's a one-year program where my team and I, we take a whole year to work with you through one-on-one coaching sessions, through weekly coaching calls, through monthly VIP workshops on sales, marketing, operations, financial systems. We have quarterly masterminds, and we help you put a legitimate business or financial system together. We provide consulting services and so many other things that we do here at Ramonepreston Enterprises. But enough of what we do here. Let me share with you what I know is going to really impact you today, and that is part 2 on how to become recession proof. Just in case you haven't watched the news lately, every expert is saying that we are officially in recession. Okay, so the federal bank has, literally increased the rates. We see certain supplies and demand prices going up, like gas and other food and supplies and materials. The price is going through the roof. Unemployment is still happening. There are a lot of people who are just literally like leaving their jobs and moving on with their lives. And there are a lot of people who are turning to entrepreneurship. The thing about it is, if you're turning into entrepreneurship, or if you're looking for alternative ways or new ways to make money and to provide a stable financial situation for you and your family, I don't think this is going to be a good time for you to start buying Bitcoin. It looks like Bitcoin is getting hit. The crypto world is getting hit. Now, are there going to be applications for the things that are built around Bitcoin and crypto? Of course. Everybody's letting us know that the application of these infrastructures built behind Bitcoin and crypto and NFTs is going to have a tremendous impact on society. But today, there are things that you need to do to put yourself in a position so that you are not a statistic and you are not a casualty. The Bible even says we're in the world, but we're not of the world. So even though we're in the world and we're not of the world, we're still in the world, right? So we can be conscious of the world without becoming worldly. Meaning, or at least one of the meanings is that we don't want to succumb to the same mindsets, to the same limitations that the average person in the world succumbs to. I want you to elevate your game. I want you to put yourself in a position to be able to pivot correctly so that you can succeed. So my question to you, again, this is part 2 of a discussion we started Monday. My question to you today is this: are you recession proof? Are you recession proof? And so today is going to be part 2 of this conversation on how to become recession proof. But I want to ask you a question. Are you recession proof now? Are you recession proof? And if you're not recession proof, why aren't you recession proof? I told you just this past Monday when we were hosting part 1 of this show that the root word for recession is recess. So when there's a recession, I guess there's a recess. Well, when a recess happens, what do we see? Well, we see in school when people go on recess, they leave the classroom. They cut their brains off. They just go play and they just have fun and goof off. In other words, they contract from doing what they have to do in the classroom. And so what typically takes place when there is a recession, mentally people check out. Because most people, the average person, business owners included, churches, ministries, nonprofits, leaders, influencers included, most people, when a recession takes place, what they do is mentally go on recess. And so they start contracting. They start crossing their fingers and just hoping and wishing and praying that this will blow over and that if they could just ride the storm out, it's going to get greater later. That's not always the case. 14 years ago, you may have heard me share this. 14 years ago, when the 2008 recession started, I was not recession proof. And there are certain reasons why I wasn't recession proof. I learned my lesson and I made a promise to God. I made a promise to my wife and my family. And I made a promise to me that when another recession comes, that I was going to put myself in a position at play that I can benefit from the recession, that I can maximize my opportunities in the recession so that I can, in no uncertain terms, become recession proof. So whether you are financially recession proof now or not, let's help you get started, okay? So now the first part of this discussion that I had the other day, I told you that the 2 ways to become recession proof is, number 1, you have to change your mindset. And number 2, you have to change your skill set. So your mindset has to change, your skill set has to change, right? What does it have to change about? What does it have to change on? It's got to change on money, it's got to change on people, and it's got to change on business. So you got to change your mindset and your skill set about money. That means you got to learn about money, and you got to learn the information about money that's not $20,000 a year type of money, or that's not $80,000 a year type money. I think you should be learning how to become a millionaire. I think you should be understanding the principles and the practices that could help you at least have a target for $1 million. Because again, if your target is $1 million and your mindset is $1 million and your skill set is moving you toward the trajectory of $1 million. Even if 90% of what you know and do doesn't work, and you fail 90% of what you're endeavoring to get done, 10% of 100% of $1 million target still lands you at $100,000. So your mindset and skill set about money got to change. Your mindset and skill set about people. You got to learn how to communicate. This goes into sales. This goes into marketing. This goes into creating the right messaging. This goes into branding. This goes into how you position yourself in the marketplace. That's why when I talk to my clients and students and people that I mentor and coach and train on a day-to-day basis, I always remind them that how you build the infrastructure of your business and how you position yourself in that business, especially if you listen to somebody like me starting a holding company, having divisions and subsidiaries, and positioning yourself as an expert in the marketplace, that position alone is going to give you more leverage, is going to give you more flexibility, is going to give you more attention and more awareness. So you got to change your mindset and skill set about people. And then number 3, you got to change your mindset and skill set about business. Just because you're good at something you do don't mean you're good at business. This is why a lot of business owners fail, because they get good at tree trimming. They get good at shoe shining. They get good at apparel. They get good at technology. They get good at marketing. They get good at sales. They get good at doing the thing that they do, whether it's cutting hair or painting or construction or detailing. Whatever it is that you're good at doing, the thing that you do good, doing that and doing business are 2 different things. So you gotta change your mindset and your skill set about business, and you gotta start understanding that building a business is a mindset and a skill set. So if you're good at speaking, if you're good at social media, if you're good at videography, if you're good at copywriting, if you're good at doing logos, or you're a designer, you're a marketer, whatever the thing is that you're good at, you have to start understanding that it's different than being good at business. So you got to learn to get better at what you do, but you also got to learn to get better at running a business. So those are the first 2 ways I gave you the other day on how to become recession proof. So now today I want to give you part 2 of this discussion, and I want to continue on. So if the first thing you got to do to become recession proof is change your mindset about money, about people, and about business. Number 2, you got to change your mindset about you have to change your skill set about money, about people, and about business. Number 3, the third thing you need to do to become recession proof is you need to become, please hear me on this, please hear me on this. I just had this experience today. I just had it yesterday. Like all week this has been happening to me, ironically, because I'm talking and teaching about it this week. What is the third thing you need to do to become recession proof? You need to become the front door. And I'm going to explain to you what I mean by that. This is the number 3 thing you need to do to become recession proof. And again, some of you that watch me religiously and regularly, and you follow me on social media, and you take certain tidbits of what I say and you apply it, you got to start getting to the point that you just go all in. See, that's one of the biggest blessings and benefits I've had in my personal life, in my ministry life, and even in my business life. When I find people and align myself with people, I model them until I master what they do. In other words, I'm gonna go all in. When I find a mentor, when I find somebody who I can be coached by, when I find somebody who's speaking my language, who's talking that talk, and I can see in their life that they are actually living what they're talking about, I go all in and I stop listening to other people. These are uncertain times economically. This is a recession, okay? This is a bear market. These are times where you cannot afford to think you're going to go to Google, or you're going to go to YouTube, or you're going to just watch videos of people like me on social media, and you're just going to gather little tidbits of information for everybody. And you're going to take a little bit of what Ramonepreston is saying. You're going to take a little bit of what this guru is saying. You're going to take a little bit of what this internet sensation is saying. You're going to take a little bit of what this free webinar said, and what this landing page gave you, and this free ebook provided for you. And you think you're going to put it all together, and guess what happens? Nothing happens. You know why? because you have not aligned yourself with the right person who can give you certain information to start moving a certain way and doing things a certain way. And as a result of being consistent with that certain information, doing things a certain way and seeing things a certain way, you start seeing certain results. That's how it works. This is why most people, they can watch people on social media and never live what that person is teaching, because you never aligned yourself with that person. You may have agreed with me based on what you hear me say and watch me do, but you never aligned with me because it probably costs more time, more money, and more effort to get in alignment with somebody. But guess what? If you don't, it's just not going to work for you. Number 3, here's the third thing you need to do to become recession proof. You have to become the front door. What do you mean by front door? What do you mean by front door? Well, what I mean is you need to become the front door. So on social media, you should be the front door for people to come into contact with to get information. You should be the information person. So whatever field of business you're in, whatever field of expertise you in, you should become the front door. What most people do, here's what most people do, especially entrepreneurs, here's what they do. They have a house right here. This is their business. This is their business, right? And in this house, they have golden information. I mean, the best information in the world. Nobody does what you do like you do. You have the best products. You have the best services. You have the best programs. All the stuff you got is the best. But here's the problem. Because you're not the front door, you put a gate in front of your consumer. Here's your consumer. They're out there in the internet world. You got a gate, then you got another deadbolt gate, and then you got another fence in the way. It's so many barriers for people to get to your information that's valuable. Your information is valuable. Your ideas is valuable. So when you put content out in social media, it never gets to that person. That person doesn't see it because you got so many layers that people have to jump over just to get to your products and services and programs. Because I'll say it this way. I'm going to redo it because that's really the wrong way for me to do it. I'm going to do it this way. So here is your business as a house. I'm going to put it this way. This is your business, and here is your products, your services, your programs. And here is your information. This is where your information should be. This is where your value should be. This is where your ideas should be. This should be the gold right here. But see, you want all this to be your gold. But your money is not here. This is not where your money is. Your money is here. The value and the money is here. So if you can learn to move these walls, if you can move these walls and give people an opportunity to come right into contact with you and get all of the information that you have and get all the ideas that you have, give that to the world. Don't worry about the products and the services and the programs that you're trying to sell. All you should be concerned about is giving the information you got, the value you got, the ideas. This is the gold. And giving it to this person. No different than what I'm doing. Like, you can literally watch me on a day-to-day basis, and if you, like, I just talked to like maybe a handful of people this week that I never met, I've never talked to before. They just reached out to me, and all of them, unanimously, a couple of them have become clients of mine. Yep, 1, 2, 3. 3 have become clients of mine. But here's the thing. All of them had an opportunity to get access to information, to get value, to get new ideas, to get gold without even buying a product or a service or a program from me. So let's say, for example, out of the 5 people that I just talked to this week, that came out of nowhere. They just happened to see me on social media, just like you seeing me. 3 of these people, all 5 of them got all this. Only 3 of them became real clients who purchased products, services, or programs. But guess what? I wouldn't have never gotten the 3 if I didn't give everything to 5. Even if this number was 15, it doesn't matter. At least I am doing what I'm telling you to do, which is the 3rd way to become recession proof. And that is to become, or be, I'm not even going to say become, I should have said be the front door. So you have to be the front door. You have to be the front door. Have you ever walked in a mall and based on what you see on the door or the window, the front door of the store, that determines if you go in there? So a lot of times people are selling you at the door. But see, most entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs and business owners who sell like courses and you sell like coaching and consulting, this is why you need to be trained. This is one of the reasons why I have a training program just for coaches and consultants and educators, because you got to learn how to build a business behind that. Everybody want to be a life coach. Everybody want to be a this coach and a that coach and a this consultant and a that consultant and this type of educator and this type of trainer and have courses for this and courses for that. The problem is we got to jump across like 3 or 4. We got to jump. This is what we got to do. We got to keep jumping just to get a little bit of information for you. And then when we get a little bit, we got to buy that. And we never get in the house because you're not being the front door. You got to be the front door, okay? Now, number 4, the fourth thing you need to do to become recession proof is you need to be the creative force. Like, I've been doing this for years and it has always paid off. This has always paid off. Everything I'm telling you to do right now, it has always paid off. Point blank, period. It has always paid off. How do you be the creative force? Being the creative force is learning that when people do get exposed to you, that you give them real solutions. Okay, so when you are a creative person, that means you create solutions to problems. You create answers to questions. You create this. So you've got to help people figure out their problems even before you get paid. Stop saying, well, I'm going to wait until you purchase my whatever to give that to you. Oh, I can't give that to you until you buy something. The fact that you're able to get in front of somebody and talk to them should be enough for you to say, let me over deliver just upon introduction. Like I experience it all the time, but this week has been one of those extraordinary weeks where we've had so many new people come into our community, and the overwhelming majority of people that have come into our community just this week alone haven't purchased anything from me. They're not clients, they're not students, they haven't bought nothing, they haven't signed up for nothing, but guess what? I've had an opportunity to talk with them. I've answered all of their questions, and every time when I got to the end of my presentation, I circled back around to make sure that I answered all of their questions, that I gave them all the information that they needed. Now, of course, I wanted to make sure that they were clear that my intention was to make them a client and to do business with them and to earn their business. However, even if I couldn't earn their business during that talk, during that presentation, or during me giving them information, at least they knew what my intentions were, and at least they could leave with as much value as possible, because I wanted to be their front door and I wanted to be their creative force. So I was just on a call for over an hour, literally for over an hour. And it was, how many people were on there? It was a presentation that I was giving, and it was a Zoom call. And I was presenting my company, my programs, and my products and services. But once I started asking the right questions to this group of people who were on this call, I realized that what I have is not going to be the best product for them. But one of my colleagues, someone that I work with that I know is very, very good at certain things, would be a perfect fit for them. So guess what I did? I became the creative force. I became the creative force because they knew, even though they were reaching out to me and we set up an appointment for them to want to do business with me because they have watched me, they know that I know what I'm talking about. I knew that I didn't have the right product for them, but I could be the creative force for them. So I took the time out, which is why it extended over an hour, because I wanted to go through everything that they should expect when they hire a colleague like mine to do the things that they needed done, and what the outcome would be, what the timeline would be, what the results would be, how beneficial it would, like all that. I went over it with them. I actually sold my colleague for my colleague. Like basically they ain't even got to sell themselves, because I validated them and approved them and let them know that this is the way they need to go. But for the people that were on this call, I solved their problem. I answered their question. I became the creative force. They're never going to forget me. They're going to always remember me. So even though I didn't get to do business with them in terms of them buying something from me, guess what? We exchanged information. I have their names, their numbers, their email addresses, their contact information. We have a relationship. And guess what? At some point, one of the gentlemen said it before they got off the call. Well, we'll definitely be coming back around to do business with you in the things that we know you provide, because you've given us so much value. Creative force. So now, what are some practical things that you can do right now in this recession to be the creative force? Well, find people who are having problems, anybody, people, businesses, companies, organizations, and reach out to them and let them know, hey, listen, here's what I do, but I would love to help you figure out creative ways that you can keep generating business. This is what you need to do now. As a matter of fact, all of this that I'm talking about, I have courses on my Millionaire Blueprint, and the title of the program that I have these courses on is called Pivoting, or How to Pivot in a Pandemic. These are certain things that I started putting together when the pandemic hit 2 years ago to really help my students and my clients pivot in the pandemic. And so if we're in a recession, this is going to be valuable for you to become the creative force. You should be calling other business owners and other ministry leaders, or whoever you do business with, or whatever industry you're in, and you should be asking them how you can bring value to them. And maybe you don't even need to ask them how you can bring value. Just bring value. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like people asking me that question. You know, what can I do to bring value to you? I don't know. You should have the answer. Don't call me, ask me how I can bring value to you. Just bring the doggone value. That's what you need to do. You need to be studying your neighbors. You should be studying your fellow business owners, studying their companies, studying their products and services, creating ways that can generate new revenue for them, and then present it to them and say, hey, I have 2 or 3 creative ideas that we can do business together, or here's what you can do just to get the attention, just to get the awareness. It's powerful. All right, that's number 4. So, all right, we've covered 4, and I'm gonna give you one more, but hopefully you're learning something. So again, let's go through it again. How to become recession proof. How to become recession proof. I've given you 4 ways so far. Okay? So number 1, what did I say? Change your mindset about money, people, and business. So you need to write this down. Number 2, change your skill set about money, people, and business. All right, you got that? Let me change this. Number 3, be the front door. And what does that mean? Be the person who's willing to put all the information out front. Be that person. Trust me, all this valuable information and strategies and game you got that you ain't sharing with nobody because you waiting for somebody to buy something, it ain't gonna work. Even if if you have a physical product or some product you selling and it ain't a service, you need to give people the service for that product to incentivize them to buy it. You get what I'm saying? So if you have a physical product, you need to give them a service and say, hey, I want to give you a service for the type of product that I sell. Even if you don't buy my product, here is how you use these products. Here's the best way to get this product to give you results. If you have a service, maybe you have a product you can provide, or maybe you need to give information about the service to people who need the service to show them, if you ever get this kind of service, here's what you need. You need this, this, and this. You need to look at this, this, and this. Here are the questions you need to ask. Here is how much the service should provide for you. Here is what you should expect to benefit from. Give people that and give them more and give them more and find new ways to give them more. Be the front door. Number 4, be the creative force. Be the creative force. Like I want, and I've done it and I still do it. I want to be the person that other business owners call because they need ideas for something that they're trying to do. I want to be the person that other organizations call, other businesses call, other coaches and consultants and educators call to say, hey, what platform are you using? What videos are you running? What ads are you, like, what are you doing? Like yesterday, I had one of my incubator sessions with 2 of our licensees, and we sat there like we always do when they show up here in person, and I started showing them stuff that was unrelated from what we were initially meeting about. I'm showing them how to run ads, I'm showing them how to do marketing, how to create content. Like we're all in this whole other space of digital marketing. I'm giving them game. They didn't ask me for that, but when they mentioned that they're working with a marketer, I'm like, here's what I've been doing. I showed them my numbers, my analytics, how my ads are set, my retargeting campaigns. I showed them all that, and they're like, oh my God, guess what I'm doing? I'm doing the work of a creative force. I'm showing them that I'm a force. I'm creative. Even if I'm your competition, I'm still gonna do business with you. I'm still gonna help you. We're gonna make it happen together. And number 5, be a blessing. Be a blessing. Now this is a big statement and you like, yeah, that's a little vague. That's a little hypothetical, Ramon. No, it ain't. Don't underestimate the power. Don't underestimate the power of being a blessing. My wife and I, here's a mantra we live by. Here's a mantra me and my wife live by. We were just talking about this yesterday. When God is getting ready to bless you, He first gives you an opportunity to be a blessing. Oh my God. That's something me and my wife live by. Like we got that embedded in us. When God is getting ready to bless you, He's giving you an opportunity to be a blessing. So when my wife and I hit certain pockets where we start really being a blessing to people, like when I say we be a blessing to people, you have no idea what I'm saying. Like you can only imagine the type of blessing we be to people. We know how to be a blessing, okay? And most of the times it's with money because people have money problems. People need money. People need resources. And I'm thankful and grateful to God that I and my wife can both be a blessing to people. But here's my point. This is actually a recession-proof strategy. It's actually a recession-proof strategy. Because when you can learn to just be a blessing, like for example, if you are an entrepreneur or a business owner, give somebody something. I don't care if you cut grass. Like I watch a couple of YouTube videos and Instagram videos of certain guys around the country who take one day a week and they just ride around to areas that are struggling and guess what they do? They cut people grass for free, or they wash people cars for free, or they do all these types of things. I do the same thing. I don't cut grass and wash cars, but based on the business that I'm in, I provide services. Like today, I took an hour, almost an hour and a half, and consulted a group of ministers, a group of pastors and church leaders. I consulted them for free. For me, it was me being a blessing, because it was 5 minutes into the call that I asked them 1 or 2 questions, 5 minutes into it. And I realized, oh, I don't have a product for them. They're not a perfect client for me based on what I do. However, I'm going to be a blessing to them. I'm going to give them something that I know they probably couldn't find, which is why we're on this call, because nobody's going to just give them this information for free except me, because I know how to be the front door. I know how to be the creative force, and I know how to be a blessing. Like, if you just did these 5 things, this recession won't even affect you. Period. So let's go through them again. Number 1, you got to change your mindset about money. How do I change my mindset about money? Not just sitting there saying, oh, I'm going to just change my mind about money. I'm going to just change the way I think. Your behaviors are directly tied to your knowledge. How you act is based on what you know and believe. So you got to change the information you get about money. I've got courses on my Millionaire Blueprint right now that teach you how to think like a millionaire. That helps to change your mindset about being a millionaire. So when I talk to people and they have a money mindset problem, I know what the problem is. You're not listening to the right information about money. You got to learn money principles. You have to learn millionaire principles. This is a mindset change. You got to change your mindset about people. People are not your problem. Let me say it again. People are not your problem. For every idiot that you come across, there are hundreds of geniuses. Probably thousands or tens of thousands of geniuses. So don't let an idiot change your mind about people. Don't let a knucklehead, don't let some ridiculously obnoxious person make you think people are not amazing. There are amazing people on this planet. Change your mindset about business. You ain't gonna change your mindset about business if you don't change your information. So how do I know, Ramon, if I have the right mindset about money? Do you have money? That's the question of, do you have money? How do I know if I have the right mindset about people? What type of people you got around you? What type of person are you? What do people say about you? How do I know if I have the right mindset about business? Do you have one? Are you minding your own? Can you handle your own? If you don't, you ain't got the right mindset. And then when you get the right mindset, when you start learning these things, then you start developing your skill set. Now you get good at handling money. Now you get good at it. Somebody just asked me this question this morning. They was like, well, how did you manage to do what you did financially with your ministry and with your business? How did you manage to do that when you didn't have a lot of resources? I managed what I had because I had the right mindset and skill set when it came to money. I was disciplined. My wife and I knew we needed to save money so that we could make power moves and put ourselves in a position. Did I blow it sometimes? Did I make mistakes financially? Of course, everybody does. Nevertheless, I had enough information and knowledge and enough skill set and ability to maintain a certain level of consistency. Then you need to be the front door. That means you need to take all the valuable information you holding and hoarding that you good at and give it away. Stop holding on to that. It ain't nothing. Like, you can have treasures hidden and it's trash because it's not being used. It's no different than money. You hear one of my mentors say that. He says cash is trash. And the reason why cash is trash is because if you got cash and you're not using it, to generate more cash and to convert it into assets that generate more cash and continue to build your net worth is trash. Anything that's valuable that's not being used is losing its value because it's not being used. Be the front door. Number 4, be the creative force. Don't ask people what they need from you. Okay? Don't tell people, well, if you need me, just call me and let me know. No, just be there for people and bring value and bring solutions and bring ideas and bring things to them that can positively produce results. And number 5, be a blessing. Be a blessing. Be a blessing to somebody today. Matter of fact, I want to be a blessing to you today. Do you want me to be a blessing to you today? Well, I can definitely be a blessing to you today with the things that I have, because I have information, I have knowledge, I have experience, I have success when it comes to building business, when it comes to financial freedom, when it comes to creating a millionaire life, when it comes to starting and structuring holding companies and investing, when it comes to family wealth building, when it comes to financial literacy, all these things, I've got it because I live it. And so I make it available for the people that I come into contact with. So if you need me to be a blessing to you, I ain't gonna say if you need me to. I know you want somebody to be a blessing to you. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to reach out to me today. I'll take a few minutes with you. And I'll get on a phone call or maybe a Zoom call. It might be a little more easier and passive and not as intimidating or uncomfortable for you. But I'll be more than happy to jump on a call with you and take a few minutes just to assess what are you doing in your personal or your professional or your business or financial life that you want to change. And what are the things that you need in order to make that change? I would love to take the time to talk with you on that. It would be an honor and a privilege. But guess what? You still need to reach out to me because I can't call you over the video. I can't, let's see, try to figure out what is your phone number. What's your phone number? I know the digits of your phone number are somewhere between 0 and 9. I don't know. You have to reach out to me. Text the word millionaire. Now, why do I want you to text the word millionaire? Here's why. Here's why. Because I want you to start taking the mindset of a millionaire. I'm telling you that we are in a world, we are in a time in history that the single-digit millionaire is almost like a 6-figure earner. Seriously, you need to understand what I'm saying. Like earning $1 million is becoming the equivalent of earning 6 figures. That's what we're moving into. This is the world we're in. This is the time we're in. So if we can move you into a mindset and a skill set of a millionaire, so that the things you're doing every day in your career, on your job, with your finances, with your credit, with your business, with your activities, if those things could be directing you towards a millionaire, then the likelihood of you succeeding goes up and goes through the roof. Most people, their targets are too low because they don't have the right knowledge, they don't have the right skill set, they don't have the right tools and resources. I want to change that. So just text millionaire to this number and give me a few moments to talk with you so that we can see where you are and what you need to do to get to where you want to go. I want to help you. I want to help your business. If you're a pastor, if you're a minister, man, I was just on the phone with a group of, it was a Zoom call with a group of ministers and a couple pastors and church leaders. And I want to help churches so bad. But churches have to be open. Church leaders have to be open. Ministers, traveling evangelists, those of you who are called to ministry and you know that's what you want to do. Like, don't you know in the Bible, I don't know how much you know about this, but in the Bible, there were priests, there were prophets, there were Levites, there were people who worked in the church or in the temples. But then you had like kings. You had people who built empires, who ran companies, you know, what the equivalent of a company. They didn't necessarily call them companies then, but they ran these companies, these enterprises, these organizations. They ran their kingdoms, right? These were like businesses and empires. And the kings who ruled these communities, they were the ones who set the laws and who set the rules and regulations. And in the Old Testament, definitely the rules and regulations were that priests and Levites and people who worked in the temples, they needed to be compensated. They needed financial support from the community, which was reinforced by the kings. And so my point in bringing that up is, if you are in the nonprofit space, church, religious community, faith-based, like, you really need to learn these principles that I'm teaching, because you don't have the support you used to have anymore. You don't have the backing. You don't have the sponsorship. People are canceling sponsorships left and right. People just ain't supporting like they used to support. And you need strategies. You need to understand the business side of that, the financial side of that, in a way that you're not overwhelming yourself with burdens, but you're at least being able to move forward. So either way, I want you to text Millionaire to 404-478-7213. I pray that you have enjoyed today's show, part 2 on how to become recession proof. We're here for you all day today, this Thursday, right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. All you have to do is just text Millionaire to 404-478-7213. I'll take a few minutes. I'll speak with you. I'll give you as much wisdom, information, direction, strategy, solution that you need for your business, for your finances, to help you get to the next level. Have an amazing day. I'll see you tomorrow right here, same place, same time on the